Hey guys, live episode of Pro Teaches Noobs. It's the 25th lesson. Wow, how many did we get through so many so fast? Returning students, Bianca and Alex.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
And a new student joining us, longtime friend of mine, Dan.
What? Where those voices coming from?
We're in your head. Woo!
Hey, bunk. And today we're going to be going over, and it helps that we just had the new campaign just got started, the Common America universe. Everything from Black Ops, Soul Finder, given how the crossover with the current campaign, and of course Common America herself. And we're going to be starting from Black Ops USAGI Usagi #1 all the way up to Volume 5 of Common America. And for a couple of these, I'm going to be showing them off like right here and everything because I don't have the digital versions. I never got the digital version of the omnibus. Why bother when I actually have the physical one? But once we get to Common America, with one exception of the books, I'll be able to show things digitally.
Wait,
So,
you never
yeah.
got the digital omnibus?
Why would I?
Don't they always come with the physical?
If you ordered the omnibus. I have the individual. Why would I need the omnibus?
Oh, that's true. Ignore me, I'm stupid.
But yeah, it opens up in Japan right around the time of the bombs being dropped.
Oh.
Yep, and this cute little rat and bunny is somehow able to survive. It was basically a cryptid, a catalyst event that basically turned it into more of a cryptid-like creature, making it basically slowing down its aging and giving it much more above normal intelligence. And it was soon found and taken care of. And as they soon realized, you found out it had some abilities, like when it saw a symbol, it actually developed, was able to change its body to have it on its look. Things like that. And it actually was able to meet up with others, and it went through a whole lot of training. And basically, its keeper would pass it on to his son, and then his son would pass it on to his daughter, who is not in the military at all, at least at this point. In this version, basically, with Black Ops, I've had Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini on. They've admitted with each installment of Black Ops, it would be a bit of a soft reboot, where each one would kind of tweak characterizations, but act like it was always there. One of the other military members is coming up to basically ask him to come do a job, and we get some little picture speak. We need USAGI screwball.
Oh my God, it's Bruce Willis.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know what you just said, but I can tell when I'm being mocked. And basically tells them you're still technically free, on duty and everything. To which he gets a death glare, but he's able to eventually convince them. And once he goes on in, he's dropped right in.
My buddies give me death glares.
Yep. And he's able to change his look so he's camouflaged. But I love this bit here. He's looking at this little bunker. And he takes out a knife in his mouth. Boing, boing, boing. Ah! Ah! Boing, 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 boing. Perfect explanation of what this book is.
Metal Gear Bunny.
Yeah, we see him deal with other things like the Korean water deer or the vampire deer.
Oh.
Yep, he's able to fight them off. We see this cute little bit of him taking out a grenade pin and then kicking it at a guy.
Dang.
Yep, and basically then they send in this guy who's a trainer of these tigers, this white one in particular. So they're going out to try and deal with USA and USAGI. And, well, he kicks the Tiger's butts. And I believe this is still around the time of Kim Jong
Kim Jong-un?
Bill?
Kim Jong Un
yeah,
or
and
Kim
basically
Jong Il?
the current one,
Oh, that's his son, isn't it?
the son,
Kim
yeah, the
Jong-il?
son,
Oh.
No, it's Un.
yeah, but as he's the White Tiger is putting up a better fight, but then it's decided to drop these bombs, and the trainer is running, trying to tell him, Yoon, run, girl, run, gets blasted.
Oh.
And then we see the Yun, the White Tiger, is dying, and he's like, "You okay?" And he explains about the keeper and everything, and what does USAGI do? Brings him over and rests him with the its owner.
Aw.
Oh.
Yeah, that is sweet. But yeah, then the next part then is just again him going in for more, putting up more of a fight with everything. Trying to find their base, which he does, and does a little flop to make it look like he's a dirt mound. And as it drives over, he grabs on and hitches a ride. You know how smart that thing is?
Smart bunny.
Yep. But then eventually, as he's making his way in and all that, and he's still using his changing the blend, we find Tatzelwurm, this weird cat-like cryptid.
Oh my god. What's that?
Ooh.
Yeah. And it can actually
Top
spit
half
out
is like,
acid.
oh my god, it's so cute. Bottom half is like, what the fuck?
I know, but it spits out acid and all that. Puts up a big fight as they're about ready to launch a missile. That's the whole reason why USAGI was sent in the first place. The missile goes up, and, well, he wins. He's eventually picked up, and then, of course, then they're realizing if just a simple rabbit can work. So, and that's what they claim eventually led to him, meeting up with Trump.
Ah.
And then it just ends with him getting some nice R&R. A nice introduction story, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, a little political at the end, but it's mostly also make fun a little bit of things. But Black Ops 2 is when things start to get a bit more interesting.
Gotcha.
I mean, current comics always do like presidents and stuff, so I wouldn't say this would be any different.
True.
It just has a bunny in it. A cute little bunny. To offset.
At the beginning, for this one, we're introduced to Hair Trigger. That's her codename. And Penelope, that is the owner of USAGI. They're called in and everything and told, what they have to do. They have to try and stop her because she's joining up with this Apex Moss, who's the main villain. This guy who knows so much about cryptids, may even be one himself.
It's Mothman.
We're also introduced to Patriot-er.
Oh my god.
But what we later find, we'll get to a bit about him and his origin. It's actually a flip book.
Ah.
But yeah, the two do not get along at all. What was that?
It's like a double issue.
Yeah. Like I said, the two do not get along at all. But also, we're also introduced to this turtle named Rigger Tortoise.
Rigger Tortoise.
He's not an irradiated intellect, just a normal tortoise with special things in his shell, including neural impulse implants and a GPS chip and other enhancements. But yeah, so USAGI makes his way in, and he's taking out all of the guys left and right. And but Hair Trigger and Apex Moss are ready for him. All the while underneath, you're seeing Rigger Tortoise just slowly walking his way in. Which is a joke that Tim Lim would be doing on other books, where you have this little other story happening on the bottom panels.
Oh, I gotcha.
But yeah, of course, this leads into more action going on. Again, that's the whole thing about Black Ops. It's more of an action piece than it is a character piece. But then eventually, Rigatordis shoots missiles at him. And then some Glash comes up and slices Hair Trigger's hand right off.
Oh.
Yep. But then things are getting a bit out of control, even more for USAGI to handle. And then Patriotter picks him up and carries him out, which leads to this big spread as they, the mission accomplished. Which then on the other side, we get two stories actually. The first one deals with Penelope joining in on the action, as there's some chupacabras that have gotten out.
Ooh.
So, and I love her little face here. This wah! As a car zooms by. But she decides to make herself the bait, so she cuts herself because it comes for blood. It's like, ow, ow, and oh boy.
Blah.
Yep. But once it takes the bait, well, it tries to do some type of puke stuff on her, but it is a bit of a scrambling. She takes it out. And then we get the origin of Patriotter. And the reason why USAGI is so good at taking orders, he was already domesticated by the time he got irradiated. Whereas Patriotter was feral.
Oh.
So that's why he's not good with a keeper or a handler or anything. He's
a little bit more loose cannon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's been compared to Wolverine.
Yeah.
Of course, when he's told he has to accept it, calls a guy a butthead.
Were you looking at butthead?
And now this artwork is by Matthew Weldon, another very good artist. And just look at the stare down by those two.
Whoa.
You always have to have the lightning.
Yep. But yeah, when he makes his
real.
Now, one thing I do like though is that Patriotter actually, because he has opposable thumbs, he's actually good with small firearms. And as he makes his way in, eventually he has to dealing with what?
I said, "Eat your heart out, Rocket." You gotta go on her with a gun.
Yep, but then he deals with Cat's a Worm, and he does a much better job, especially igniting it with a flare.
Oh my god!
And basically the whole point of this is he eventually catches up and meets up with them. You good? I'm good. And it ends the same place.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. So what do you think of those two so far?
Yeah, they seem fun.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yep. Now Soulfinder, it gets a little more religious, obviously.
Wait, do I have to get the Soul Finder to get everything?
No, actually, you don't need to. No, it's just again. So all this is a primer for the upcoming crossover. I could just simply sum this up as you have a group of these people who are, pastors and all that, who are basically they're going after and dealing with some of the more bigger type of threats you would have to do with, like demons and everything. They're the
pastors
ones
and priests used synonymously?
Actually, it's been a while since I've read through this all. Said I think that they are just priests. Yep, they're just priests. But yeah, basically, like for example, one of them was in the military until and he wanted to follow in his father's footsteps. He thought join the military, then join the police. But then a mine hit him when he was overseas, and it kind of damaged him. He's been, dealt with PTSD and all that.
No.
Yep. But eventually, then they're having to deal with a big demon threat. And once that's dealt with, he joins up with the Soul Finders. And yeah, that's pretty much the majority of what this book is about. Yeah, so it's pretty much, this is just his origin of him joining in on everything. But that's enough about that. Let's get into Common America.
Woo!
Okay, here we
All
go.
right, the cheesecake.
Yep, the cheesecake.
No dark theme.
So much bright colors. Ah! No.
Yep. Now, technically, Carly was introduced during this. Technically, but it's loose. It's broad strokes with its canon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not kind of official like
It's
first appearance
kind of a
cameo?
well. They do reference stuff like Walmart in here, but they don't bring it up that often. Yeah. But yeah, we open up with young Carly as she gets hit in the face during during playing baseball.
Sue him.
I love how she has this cold steak on her head for because of instead of an ice pack.
Yeah.
Usually, people would use like frozen peas or something like that.
What's that noise I'm hearing in the background? I just realized. Whose noise am I hearing in the background?
Hold on, let me mute my mic and see if it's me.
Yeah, it was you, Bianca. Wait, no, wait.
It's. Let me mute again.
Yep. I don't think it's you. I think it's one of you two guys.
For the first time, it's not me.
Well, let me.
I think I'm hearing a slight reverb of the echo. Hello.
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 I've just muted my mic to see if it was me.
Hold on. Hello. No. Hello. On.
So what if everybody was quiet for like 5 seconds?
Hello. Yeah, Alex, it's your end.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn. Yeah. All right. It's just a weird noise I'm hearing, like this little. You guys hear it? There's like a in the background.
I hear it, but I completely
Hear
from my.
All right.
It sounds like a washing machine.
Yeah, like that.
Radio trying to get signal.
That whole thing like that. But anyway. But anyway, yeah, we're introduced to Carly, and afterwards we jump ahead to her grown up. And the thing about Carly is she's into fashion, very much into fashion. So she's trying to make, and she wants credit for a lot of her stuff. At least that's her character growth for early ones. And yeah, she's like, did everyone like the outfit? They didn't care about the outfit. They just cared about the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she just feel like work so hard on those outfits. I know the dances are who everyone came for, but you want them to look good, right? But then something lands right there, and a meteor shower lands. She's knocked around, and the one guy takes off, saying, "I'll be right back. I'll be right back," and kaboom!
Oh my god!
Oh,
the meteor hit her.
Ow.
He's gonna get sued.
Yeah, but then she wakes up and told she's in Area 51. She's saying, "I'm lost. Aren't we all, Miss Vanders?" And I love this. How you've been a coma. I have. How long was I out? 500 years. Our science has revived you, Charlotte Sasha Vanders, because you are humanity's last hope. Really? Nope. That was to test your cognitive faculties. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Have you ever experienced brain damage? I got hit in the head with a baseball when I was 10. But yeah, she's actually just been out of it for 3 weeks.
Not as bad.
Yep, but as which she's finding out that it's radiation. Presumably, they think from Venus. But when they try to do an X-ray, kaboom! Thing goes blown up. But yeah, they're called things are called chimeratons, byproduct particle from radioactive blast. First identified in 1956, and studied in conjunction with DNA recombination and catalytic reactions. Basically, in other words, it's what gave her abilities.
When did he have the Band-Aid on?
What? Oh, probably because from that.
Oh, dang! I didn't. I'm sorry.
But yeah, she soon meets up with her childhood friend Vicky.
Icky Vicky.
And we find out that Vicky took a job in being a geologist. Why? Because their old teacher, Miss Wormy, would keep on pushing them to do like she would always give Carly a hard time, but not Vicky. Although Vicky was like she was all about the science and the science. Told me to grow up and get that degree and break that glass ceiling. My graduating class was 75% women. At the lab, I have one male co-worker. He's a total fruitcake. Some glass ceiling. Yep, and yeah, and she, of course, we also find out that Carly has a pet capybara that she calls Badger. But yeah, throughout all this, she's just trying to get her life back in order until she gets her powers and becomes a blonde and has lightning abilities.
Oh, okay. Because I thought my eyes were like deceiving me. I thought she was always blonde.
Hey, Alex, maybe try turning your mic maybe that down a little bit. That might work.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm doing this from my phone, so I'm not sure.
Ah, okay. That could be why. It could be picking up. It could be picking up our voices, but it's all muffled.
Right. I gotcha.
All right. Let me turn down I can turn on your mic on my end.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's better. Oh, hey, there's Eric in the chat.
Oh, hi, Eric.
Eric, I'm wearing a hat. I don't have messy hair.
Eric, if you want to join, I can send you an invite. But yeah, she thinks she's gonna call herself, but then she goes up to this media relations warhead. It's a terrible name. Trust me, kid. Chickens are big money right now. Around restaurants, cartoons, newspapers, comics. You got to get in on the trend before it flies the coop. What's your origin? What happened to your parents? Oh, well, mom and dad moved to Progress City in Florida. Wrong. Your parents are dead. You can't be a hero unless you're an orphan. Then you can tell what kind of people these guys are.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that She-Hulk made that exact same joke.
I know. And then she saw to deal with this Dino Pumpkin guy, or Gordosaurus. And yeah, she's given her first costume, and if you notice, it says Screonk, just like Godzilla. So yeah, she comes in, gets her first fight, and deals with him pretty well. But for some reason, it turned into mud. That's a setup for later. But yeah, she keeps on fighting a bunch of people, just kicking butt. There's a reference to her meeting with Wall Might and all that. And 6 months later, she feels like, like she's very popular. But then she sees this homeless lady, and, well, to help her out, she just gives her her scarf to help keep her warm.
She didn't beat her up. That sucks.
Really?
Yeah, beat up them old ladies.
But then she's chewed out by Lansky and all that. Basically told like, what were you thinking? And you should have just given her $1. Or you're a fashionista. You know better than anyone. Then it's who wears it all. He then basically like, look, just go home. We'll think of something else. And we're also met up to her friend Siggy, who the guy and Tim and Mark have said they feel he'd be voiced like kind of like Lorenzo Music. So he'd be like, work for yourself. Isn't that what you were doing before? That kind of Garfield or Peter Venkman from Ghostbuster voice. Not the voice I would think of, looking at him. But yeah, basically he's trying to encourage her to be her own person. But then they're introduced to he's giving her a sidekick, Major Babe, the person who will actually move the agenda along. The agenda. And she basically, when he said, like, you got to maximize profits and all that, sponsorship. I love this also. My costume? We love it. It's perfect. Don't change a thing. But we need you to change a thing. She then tells him off and quits. Even says, like, fine, but don't forget we own the name Moorhead. Good. I hated that name. And she decided to go by her original name, Common America. And then at that same time, there's her little pet. But then when they're told that there's something going on over in Russia.
Mother Russia.
Yep. So Carly decides to head on over there, and this is where we're introduced to Misha Labakova, the girl you had on your top sexiest ladies list.
Yes, I tried adding in a Russian accent. Misha.
Yep, and she's got a better understanding of how to use her abilities. So it leads into a bit of a fight, and it says, like, I'm not leaving without those hostages. No, you're leaving in a body bag. And a lot of fan service finally with this fight. And but Misha, she knows how to handle herself very well. Because obviously she was trained to be a fighter, whereas Carly kind of, she would brute force her way through it. And, woo, there's a shot!
Whoa. Woo, too hot for YouTube.
But unfortunately, she's used so much of her powers for like they say, it can only hold the power up for 3 hours. And she used most of it up to get there.
Oh.
Tunguska Blast! Pathetic. But when she gets up, she starts, actually complimenting her outfit and everything. And she tries to claim, oh no, it was government issue. Are you sure? Then why did it say made by Misha? And basically the kids were like, yes, I like to sew, but soldiers aren't supposed to like sewing. Basically then, she's able to talk things down and all that. And is able to convince them saying, be better than that. Angry Russian noise. Angrier Russian noises. I'll probably get a court-martial for this. Basically, she gives her an option saying, hey, you could come join. You could be common comrade. I know what comrade means. But when they get there, they find a little bit of the mud from one of the creatures earlier, including some other letters. And basically, Vicky's going to be looking over the mud and all that. But that she is, at that same moment, actually, let me phrase that, 9 months ago in Japan, someone else got hit by a meteor.
Dang.
Those meteors giving up free superpowers, man.
Some nice pin-up artwork and other designs, and we get a bit of a setup for the next book. As she's basically been brought back into Area 51, and she's introduced to Black Ops.
Ah.
With that
And
art
of course,
style.
There we go.
What?
With, the Common America art style.
Yep. So, yeah, that was that in that first book.
How dare she not hold the dog?
But yeah, and then that leads right into Black Ops Volume 3, when Penelope actually joins in. Why? Because fans wanted more Penelope.
Not enough Penelope, to be honest.
Fiery redhead can't go wrong.
What?
Fiery redhead can't go wrong.
Well, yeah. And this is all before that cliffhanger ending.
So it's all gonna be permanently in the Common America art style?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So it's just the first issue that was different.
The first 2, yeah. By this point, Tim was adjusting everything to a style he preferred. But yeah, we're introduced, Apocalypse Now. We're introduced to Commando B and Commando D. All of these military dogs. And then we have Commando G. Oh, and fall back, boom. Now, just to make this very clear, he's just a well-trained dog. He is not a and he's more like Rigger Tortoise by comparison than he is like USA GI and Patriotter.
Gotcha.
He's just a good boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a good
All
boy.
dogs are good boys.
What's wrong with a good
Yeah.
boy?
Except my dog, she's a good girl.
Okay, yeah. All dogs
Yep.
are good doggies.
Yeah.
But we're introduced to Agent West, who wants to bring him on board the Black Ops. Why? Because of how well trained, especially compared to the other dogs, he is, and his owner as well, because he's very good too. But yeah, Sawyer's his name. So yeah, he's introduced to Penelope, and they're basically getting introduced to what to be doing going forward. These two, BFF, hey! Oh, Patriotter didn't like that. Jeez, who's his handler? He doesn't have one. Too feral, and not particularly social, as you can see. We made him take on a partner, Rigger Tortoise.
Mm-hmm.
My partner.
Yep, my partner. But yeah, our current members each have exceptional traits that surpass natural God-given abilities. USAGI and Patriotter were exposed to Chimeraton, the particle that make up cryptid catalyzation. Even Rigger Tortoise has been enhanced with billion-dollar experimental technology. Commando G is the best in the field, maybe even the best in the world, but he's still just a dog. So basically, I feel like I think they're moving too fast, and he's trying to say this is a mistake. He's just trying to be hard on him. But Sawyer's gonna be like, "I'll show you. He's more than just what just a dog is capable of." And it turns out the mission they're being sent in is, and this was out Sawyer and Commando G, but Penelope, USAGI, Patriotter, and Rigger Torres are all sent in to get Misha out. Yep, turns out she wants to get out of there. But I like how Penelope looks in this style, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very nice style.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're making their way through and everything. The asset, Misha, she's not normal. Intel on the specifics is spotty, but we know for sure that she's dangerous. So, but yeah, so much so that her family's keeping her doped up 24/7 because they're afraid of what she'll do. So yeah, we see. Oh, but yeah, it seems that they've got Misha, and they try to get her out of there. And there's Hair Trigger, of which that's Misha's sister.
Oh man.
Yeah, her older sister. Moss, the beasts are here, and they have Misha, the asset. Then get out of there. I'm aware this may be personal for you, but it's business for me. Under no circumstances are you to engage the enemy. Return to base immediately. And what does she do? Walks on out there and then says, Moss, the enemy has spotted me. No choice but to engage. What? I told you to. Sorry, can't hear you. Gunshots.
What? It's too loud. I can't hear you over the firing of my gun.
And yeah, leads into they're trying to get their way out of there and everything. Patreon runs out of bullets. Fortunately, Rigger Tortoise's shell is a lot harder than a normal turtle's, and starts firing all the missiles. But no guns, no ammo. Yes, gun, no ammo. So what does he do? He has spikes, and look what he uses them like. That's awesome, isn't it?
That's pretty cool.
Cooler than a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
But yeah, so they get out there with
America was an otter.
Yep, but yeah, they get out of there with Misha, but USAGI and Penelope are pinned down. and because they're trying to get Hair Trigger out of there. But it seems to see they escaped with the asset. All remaining ninjas to evacuate. Something's up about that. Come on. But it's real he's trying to keep her from going down there. Boom. Yep, can't go that way. But yeah, they make their way down there, but turns out that ain't Misha.
What?
It's something else entirely. Because if you notice, look at how that blank stare she has. And is making her way up, and she had taken something, but Patriotter knows something's up. And give it a moment. Oh, you seeing this thing someone else down, but it's a shapeshifter.
Oh.
And unfortunately, he's too out of it, but he's up enough to throw Ricker Tortoise at the fire alarm. Yeah, it turns out Misha was a decoy.
Oh.
Yep, and she always felt like second rate to her sister. So, yeah, the Americans, they're not bad people. That's just the morphine talking. But yeah, they eventually find their way down there as he's basically using his he's thumping his feet to try and find an opening, something.
Fun
And
fact:
fair enough.
rabbits thump when they're angry.
Paul's on it, gets their way in. They see that's the real Misha, and then they realize, oh, geez, crap's going down. The intelligence calls it Mimic Nautilus. Kind of Cthulhian looking.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so they don't know what it wants.
Into the gym.
Yeah!
Yeah.
But when they're bringing someone in, of course, Command DOG knows that ain't a person. Oh, and Commando G, stick 'em. Good boy. Oh, oh boy. So yep, shows you that Hair Trigger though is still just as deadly. Oh boy, your little pet cost me my hand. I'm own compensation, and I always collect. Cause yeah, ready to shoot Penelope, but gets a little help from Misha. What are you doing? Whatever I want. So yeah, basically they meet up with and they try to help get her out of there. Meanwhile, the Mimic is attacking them, ready to shoot Commando G, but then West gets in between them. Good boy. Good boy. Aww. So yeah, he got away, unfortunately, and Sawyer felt like we failed, but it wasn't. He wasn't. I mean, he didn't fail. This was basically what West had wanted him to do. And he said he loved animals. He loved dogs, and just like anything you love, you don't want to see them get hurt. Should you accept, you and Commander G will complete your Black Ops training. So yeah, basically, they're all getting ready on what to do next, and apparently Misha, well, she went to go stay with Carly. Well, where else does she have a place to go? Although the look on her face is like, oh, brother.
A hotel.
Yep. But yeah, Mimic is with them, and they bring forth a hand of some sort. That doesn't get explained for a couple more books.
I'm surprised they didn't give her a robotic hand.
Well, she'll get a new hand. She'll get a new hand eventually. But then
eventually, that's why I'm like, why don't you get a new hand immediately?
Yep, and now here's the epilogue that kind of meets up with, back up with Carly. Right, and what branch are you again? USO. Oh boy. Basically, Penelope, given how her upbringing, is a bit more military-minded. So having to deal with Carly, who's much more, free-going.
Understandable.
Yep, and we get a little bit of a dedication for West, who actually was based off of someone that Tim Lim knew.
Oh.
And he lost a couple of people last year. Not last year, 2 years ago. So, yeah, that was Black Ops Volume 3, which leads right into... No, not that one. Black Ops Volume 2. And so what have you all been thinking about it so far, by the way?
It's interesting.
A lot of
I
thought
don't
put into this.
It's a fun comic.
A lot of thought put into this, isn't there?
Yeah.
So yeah, we got 4 years ago after graduation year. You know, yeah. And basically we're saying we see a bit with Vicky and everything, you know, couldn't find a date and all that. And, you know, everyone's just kind of, you know, like she feels a bit put out. And Carly, not to point out, Carly, she's already feeling like even though Siggy's her best friend, she always feels like that's her boyfriend without ever making it official.
Oh,
yeah,
they're not dating?
No.
They're roommates, or?
No. They're close friends, but in her mind, that's her boyfriend. But it's never been official.
I thought he lived with her because he's always with her when she's at home.
No, that's him visiting.
That's false advertisement. I deserve compensation.
Hey, that actually comes into play later.
Will they or will they not? That is.
Well, or will someone else get there first? But anyway, we're also introduced to
Find out on the next episode of As the World Turns.
But we're then introduced to Sylvia, who is another classmate and kind of the rival.
She looks like a dang Sylvia. What the heck?
And hello, Carly's friend. Long time no see. It's Vicky, actually. And we have AP Calculus together. And honors French and besties! But basically, though, she feels like 4 years of having to put up with that, she won't be so high and mighty when they announce best dress. Come on. Since when do you care about a popularity contest? It's not about popularity. It's about recognition. I spent my whole senior year designing and sewing gowns for our class. Half the girls here are wearing my label, Visions by Vanders. I worked my fingers to the bone, helping everyone that I could. The nights, the late nights, the long lost weekends, but it'll all be worth it when Sylvia has to sit there and watch. Siggy, this is all of a sudden, and award goes to Sylvia Prestige. What? But I designed every gown myself. Well, Sylvia ordered hers from Paris. Money beats merit every time. Her own Dan owns a bait shop, a chain of bait shops. You know how popular fishing is around here. We later get that summarized. It's more than just a bait shop. It's one of those sporting type of shops.
Oh, they can make good money.
Yeah, so that's why. But for her to demean it by saying bait shop kind of tells you Carly's mindset. Yeah, her work ethic is terrible, and yet she always comes out ahead. I can't stand it. Of course, Siggy calm talks her down and everything. As we jump to the present day, where Carly and Misha are working together as Common America and Common Comet. Oh.
I like the contrasting colors and masks.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Electrical fire. But then everyone's like, there's mud all over my car, you crazy bimbo.
Oh.
Yeah, she feels pretty upset about all that. I love this. Then why do all your texts have Soviet names? Because it makes them scarier. Again, I like Misha. I like her attitude. But yeah, we're then seeing how Lansky has, been dealing with some of his other heroes and keeps on bad mouthing Carly and letting her powers go a little wild for a moment and to zap the TV. But we then see Lansky heading down to meet up with someone, Vermilion Masquerade, who's been responsible for all the monsters. And they've had a deal in place. We then see Vicky meet up with them and finds out like she hadn't even gone over all the mail, including these beans samples that were given, gone bad. But it turns out they've been working on a fall line. Turns out it's not a fall line; it's something else. But we get to it later. But yeah, they run off and she says like the tests were inconclusive. By the way, bring me back another mud sample. And yeah, we see this crow and everything. The two transform and give some poses, including Misha doing the throat slit. Wow, could you take it down a notch?
No, it's great.
But yeah, of course, Vermilion is joining in, and she's ready to attack. And if you hear her talking, she's talking about her artwork and everything with her creatures. But yeah, puts up they put up a good fight, and we're introduced to Kame Ramen.
Kame Ramen.
Yep, and turns out that is part of a name intention on the name, but her introduction.
I like that she turns it to water.
Well, she uses one, but then Sylvia is Common UN.
Oh my god.
Working for Lansky.
How the word work.
Yep, working for Lansky, and basically trying to take she's doing it to help. Lansky's doing it to try and smear Carly more and take away all their credit.
Her outfit's kind of cool.
Oh, it is. Lansky, you can't use that name common. We're already using it. Sorry, but common is a common Japanese word. You can't trademark it. So, yeah, unfortunately, people are listening to everything Lansky says. And all that. But what does he do to try and divert it? He uses an embarrassing video that no idea where they got it from. But, hey, it causes everyone to still not take Carly any more seriously. Now, you can tell with Sylvia, it's like, you haven't changed at all. Do I know you? Of course, Misha doesn't care. Most soldiers are never appreciated by the populace. And Kabit Robin, her name's Kimiko. I'm just happy to be here. But yeah, her name's Kimiko Kaneko. And yeah, basically, yeah, they're trying. Once they find out about Sylvia being involved, they feel like, oh boy, like she's still taking it hard. And find out, yeah, there's a rivalry going on. Sylvia never thought of Carly at all. But yeah, it gives her more like, here are the test results you said you wanted so badly, and some other mail you haven't checked. So yeah, eventually we find out that her father owns a pretty well-known ramen noodles company. Hence, Common Ramen.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, she studied so much for her studies to get into school, she couldn't even make it, and she failed.
Aww.
It says on the eve of her 79th try.
Ooh.
That's when she got hit by the the meteor.
Media, of course.
Yep,
Eating it out.
but she gained the ability over water. So you have lightning, water, and fire. But she still felt like she was still being a bit of a failure. She felt like, and so that's why she tried to help the family business. But that's not what she wanted to do at all. But her father, being a good man, said, "Don't feel guilty. Do what you want." So when she saw Carly, she realized, I can be like her. You think Carly has her act together? Feel free to ignore Misha. Again, I love with the little anime nods, don't you?
Yeah.
But it turns out she wants to be a radiologist.
Oh.
And it's like, there are more important things than getting attention. Oh, hold on. Just a sec.
Love this capybara that's been showing up randomly.
Well, that's Badger. That's her pet.
I love the badger showing up randomly.
Yep, I also love it. She sleeps comfortably. Misha just snores away. And Carly just keeps on staying up. But yep, Lansky meets up again with Vermilion, and she makes it very clear she doesn't murder. Which is interesting.
So what's the point she's doing all of this then?
To show off her creations.
Oh gosh, she's an artist.
Yep.
Artist.
And yep. And then so Carly goes to church, which is affiliated with her school, of course, and she's just there to talk because it's wearing her down. She says she just doesn't know what to do. And eventually, she got when Carly looks at the letter she got, she reads it. It was actually from her teacher, Miss Wormwood. Dear Carly, I hope this letter reaches you. You through your Warhen fan club. I didn't know where else to mail it. I wanted to thank you again for the scarf you gave me. You reminded me of another Carly I knew, although she was a redhead. I used to be a teacher years ago, and she was a student of mine. She liked to sew clothes as nice as the scarf you gave me. I wasn't very kind to her. I discouraged her from doing what she liked because I disagreed with what I thought she should grow up to be. I wanted a lot of people to be more like me. I saw myself as wise, independent, influential. In truth, I was just angry all the time. I spent a decade making a lifetime of bad decisions. Treated a lot of people poorly, and as I got older, there weren't a lot of people who wanted to help me. But you showed me kindness when I needed it most. If I couldn't thank anyone else, I at least wanted to thank you. I used what little money I had left to buy a bus ticket back to my birthplace in Indiana. I see that your fan club is here too. Maybe we'll meet again someday. That would be nice. Thank you, Carly. Thank you for the warmth. And it turns out this letter was found on the remains of Miss Cynthia Wormwood on February 18th. Cause of death has been ruled as hypothermia.
Oof. Oh.
Yep. And then, if you wish to make funeral arrangements, please contact our offices no later than March 31st. Otherwise, the remains will be cremated without ceremony. It's July 24th.
Bruh.
She realized then just how and she's had that for that long.
Wow.
This is a
Check
wake
your
up
mail,
call.
guys.
That's the wake up call Carly gets. Talk about a wake up call, right? But yeah, where are you as they're doing with Busco Beast Oscar? Basically, it's Gamera.
Nah.
So, yep, they're there. The Common Core is there to help deal with it. And Chief's invigorated. They put up a good fight against it. Yeah, like I said, it ends up being just a big action sequence. And eventually, Sylvia had shown up, and she's getting attacked too. And well, unfortunately, by consuming her, something's made it power up. We don't know how yet. But then they decided to do a new combo. They fly up there and take it down pretty much as it collapses. And they helped out Sylvia, and Sylvia realizes it's Carly, the Carly she knew. Unfortunately, everyone still gives Kame and UN all the credit. But Carly's mind says, hey, right now, let's head home. I'd rather head home than deal with the press. So, in other words, she's finally learned to accept she doesn't need all the attention. But unfortunately, though, he's already making money off of the monster, because of Vermilion Masquerade. He knew what was coming. But yeah, they give Vicky a whole bucket of the mud.
Yeah.
And they're all chilling down and everything. But basically, they still want to know who is Vermilion Masquerade. Boy, wait until we get to the next book, the next volume, because we'll find out who she is. But yeah, we then see Sylvia is just trying to question everything. But then Lansky meets up at a run-in with Apex Moss, and they want to know where Vermilion is. Why? Because they need her help for something. And that leads us to Volume 3. And we get a bit more of a flashback with Sylvia, and basically says like that dress you made and the dresses you made were enchanting. So many of our classmates were wearing them. You must have worked so hard. I'm glad you haven't gone home yet, though. I wanted you to have this book on French haute couture. I really think it will help improve your designs in the future. Of course, Carly takes that as an insult. But turns out she actually is studying the book. I sure hope that book helps Carly. It really feels good and great to do good, even if they don't like you. Again, tells you how Sylvia really is. She's not the bitch.
Yeah.
But then turns out we see sometime later they meet Lansky after graduation, and eventually he makes an offer. Cheap help. Sticky's willing to help out, and then once they talk, she gets a card from him for the fashion. Of course, then Sylvia thinks that she helped out.
Thanks, Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Yep. And now in the present day, they're at a fair. And, well, basically, they transform. People are starting to recognize them a bit more. And I love how they throw free ramen. And look at Misha, she's just like, meh. But then some of these things look like are more monsters. And there's Vermilion. They're ready to put up a fight, but then, like, let's do a combo. What? No. Hot springs. For the last time, we can't do combos. And Sylvia shows up. They get some cheering. Kame Yuen, does this mean you joined the Common Core? As if. Hey, at least that guy knew who we were. We're making progress. And Carly actually accepts it. Hey, look at that on the moon. It's a bunny looking like it's hitting something with a hammer.
It's probably making mochi. Usually they do that for New Year's.
True. But yeah, we see a bit, and we get a bit more, and there's a red rooster jab. Given how they kind of had something going on with them, and then they got screwed over. Merrimont Maiden, which is a Squirrel Girl XP, is there in the back. That's a reference as well, because that was one of the heroes in the Wall Might book. Hold on. I'm sorry, just a second. But yeah, and they're told to meet up somewhere. But we'll get back to that later as they head back home, and we see Vicky is doing some research, and she thinks to I love it. You're a ding 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 ding. Leave it alone, Kimiko. But yeah, see, Vicky feels like she's finally figured it out. What she was ready to call it, some type of strange radiation. You mean the chimeratons? Chimeratons? Yeah, they're particles that make up cryptid catalyst radiation. Cryptid catalyst? You realize she was playing I thought I found something new. How did you know about it? And Dr. Gracie told me. He went on tests when I was in a coma. I should give him a call. I'm sure he'd love to see your research. Oh, man, look at her. She felt like she found something, and then... Oh, don't you feel bad for her?
Yeah.
Now, we see Misha is working at Siggy's, he has a gun shop. And yeah, the whole like she's like, haste, huh? Oh, what's that supposed to mean? What? No, it's not what I meant. Relax. I get it. She's a good friend. I haven't had a lot. That's Misha saying that. I haven't had a lot of those. But a little Carly goes along on, get down. Oh, jeez.
Oh man.
He's a badass. But then there's more of them, and I love it. Regular, besides the hazard of live ammo lying around, your flames are bound to set off the sprinklers. You can still compliment me on my instincts, Misha. Duly noted. Meanwhile, Oriental Chinese.
Oh jeez.
But yeah, she's having dinner with her father, but then they're being attacked by more of those things. And she's able to, well, knock them, take them out because they're made of mud. We didn't see Carly on the news, on a talk show host. But then this person seems to know quite a bit more about her than she should. And it turns out it's Vermilion. And it turns out this was all a big plan just to get them all on screen. And like you see the actual host is in the background.
Oh snap! I didn't see him there.
Yep. No one's coming to save you. Just kidding. Coming you in. What an unpredictable turn of events. And at least those two are fighting around a bit until then Vermilion decides to manipulate things, make it seem like the two attacked each other, which leads the two arguing with each other. And you want you caught your name? What are you, 12? So I'm rich. So what? Helping people takes money, and that's all I've ever wanted to spend it on. No, you only bother to do good if it elevates your status or denigrates someone you don't like. I've toured with the USO, gave clothes to the homeless, and beaten up dinosaurs. What have you done? You're turning charity into a contest and have the nerve to call me petty? Fine, let's play that game. I've donated millions to countless causes. My money has built orphanages, hospitals, and animal shelters. I went to Africa. You haven't changed one bit since high school. You're still the same high and mighty full of herself. You're no better than me. We don't actually have a good reason to hate each other, do we? No, I don't think so. I like that, how they just come to a realization like that.
I feel like it's just a high school thing. You just you have to hate everybody. You have to hate somebody.
Right, but then it turns out her outfit was all created was Vermilion's mud.
Oh.
And she reveals everything about Lansky, which ends up being his downfall as she then leaves. And poor Sylvia thought, I thought I was part of something good. She is devastated. But because of that, and because she realized she's not a bad person, and given how screwed over she got, well, Carly brings her in. And gasp! Carly Senpai has befriended her arch rival, Misha. Real original. But they decided to take her in, and if nothing else, to see if it was made of the mud. Who knows? Maybe there was something radioactive in it. But then after Vicky drops him off, Sylvia offers to leave Badger with someone. Listen, my job is to feed the capybara, collect the mail, and drive everyone around. Don't take any of that away from me. But that also was Misha. Think you'll be able to hold down the shop without me, Ziggy? I'll manage. Keep an eye on Carly and enjoy your trip. Sure will. See you real soon. Uh-oh, we got a triangle going on.
It's all your fault, Robert.
Hey! But yeah, as they're going through, they have all these different trips, these different things they do on their way to Area 51. And once they're there, they get themselves scanned. And it turns out, even though she doesn't have been exposed as much to the Chimeratons, given how much it was in the mud, there's a low-level amount that actually is now part of her. And it turns out she might be able to utilize an armor they've been trying to work on. But yeah, it turned out the meteor had struck, and probably basically they struck, came from a probe they sent to Venus, which then came back, and it struck down 4 different places. One where Carly was, where Misha was, where Kimiko was, and somewhere in Indiana. Now, see about this: and lightning, fire, water. What would the fourth one be?
Earth.
And who do we know was Earth powers? Vermilion.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, it turns out because of her now with having the small bits of the Chimeraton radiation, and Sylvia's able to, well, eventually utilize this armor that they haven't been able to work with anyone else. But yeah, Vermilion catches up, is putting up a big fight. She just basically feels like time to end this once and for all. But they go in for a good fight, and they actually do a good combo. Freezer burn. But turns out they've used their powers earlier and they ran out of time. Why does no one ever listen to me? You're in the same boat too, Misha. So they try to scramble their way out of there. The doctor, Gallery, is suggesting that Sylvia be able to do what she can to help. Like, it's not the critic who counts, nor the man who points out how the strong man stumbled. The credit belongs to the man in the arena, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, and if he fails, doing so while daring greatly. So yeah, they're able to make their way into a some type of enclosed area. Sylvia shows up saying, look, I'm not trying to take and the camera. Well, basically, she wants her to help. And what do they do? She opens it up, blasts them, and she's taking on Common America's name because she's a blonde. No one's going to think any different. And then I've saved this one for you. Homespun, handmade haymaker. And of course, everyone thinks she's Common America. To which Misha feels like she's stealing your whole character. But Misha isn't worried. But even she says, it's not a legacy, it's you, and it'll only ever be you. Then Vermilion knocks her out and is ready to get her. They close the door again, and they realize, wait a minute. When I performed at a spa resort, I was able to stay transformed past the 3-hour limit. It was because of all the steam, meaning if they're down themselves in their element, it might force them a recharge. Where they find a bunch of beer. Oh boy, I hope this ends up better than my 18th birthday. But look at Vermilion now. She's like, you want to know what my problem is, Carly? You! I'm going to beat you, Carly, and then the whole world will see. You aren't so special. You aren't so great. Let's take this outside. Smile for the camera. You ready for the big twist? It's Vicky.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah! What a twist, huh?
Yeah.
And it turns out, it's made very clear later on that she got away right afterwards. Because then we see Lansky, 2 weeks later, Lansky takes Air Trigger and Apex Moth there to meet Vicky, who we find out, it turns out she is a bit focused on her artwork. And then, they make her an offer, and then says, this could be beneficial to each other. Hold on a sec, I just got to double check something. Yep. All right. So, which will lead right into the next one, which is Black Ops Common America. Basically, for every 2 Common Americas, we'll be getting a new Black Ops crossover.
Okay.
We're almost done, guys.
Yeah, we got 5 more hours left.
No. But, this is the time where we actually get the crossover. Now, we see a bit in, with USAGI during its early days. And basically, cute, little, adorable. but eventually, and we get more about that as we then see. Now, by this point, Sawyer has gotten a bit of a tweak of his own. He has an eye patch, and by this point, he's going to be a bit more of a hard ass. Still a good guy, nice guy, but basically they basically they would have seen him more like Snake.
Yeah, that's how you know they're a hard ass when they have the eye patch.
Yep. But with Sawyer, they seem to be a hint off of the two liking each other. Doesn't go any further because she still likes Ziggy, of course. But basically, Kimiko's gone back to Japan to renew her work visa. And Misha, well, she said after her extradition, she never wanted to work for the military again.
No.
Oh, don't worry, she'll show up. But she will show up. But yeah, we see Hair Trigger meets up with Apex Moss, who had his helmet off, and apparently he's pretty disgusting looking. But yeah, meanwhile,
rude.
Yeah, but Vermilion is waiting, and she basically like, I'm not used to making things with all this rock. And he basically is telling her, you're gonna have to, you're more powerful than you realize. Meanwhile, with the hand, well, Mimic shows up and takes her and knocks her hand off and puts the hand they stole on. And then then it reworks itself to make it from a man's hand to a woman's hand.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a.
I would have preferred the robot hand.
That's cooler, you know.
Yeah, but she, of course, is ticked off that he did it without even asking. Your lack of gratitude disappoints me. Meanwhile, then they're ready to go on in. Although, yeah, it's like, hey, great news. I just heard back from my friend. She's coming to. Wait. You're not supposed to be texting en route to a mission. Please tell me that's a secure line. Of course, I have Horizon Wireless. They never drop calls. And that's the other thing is that Tim Lim said, if you notice, whenever she, for the most part, she doesn't have Penelope doesn't have a southern accent unless she gets frustrated. But yeah, they're all ready to join in and everything, and now they're seeing they realize Vermilion's men are there, or creatures. Now, of course, they're taking it seriously because she's being involved with a domestic terrorist. To which, of course, Carly's like, but and isn't that kind of harsh? She's never hurt anyone. She's put 6 soldiers in the hospital, but she's never killed anyone. So, and now, of course, she knows it's Vicky. No one else does. And the artifact they have was the relic of Saint Columbia. It's it's basically it has a strange influence on those that are cryptids. So eventually then they're getting ready to summon something. What? We don't know yet, but they need Vermilion to open the way. But basically, yeah, the hand was basically Saint Columbia was able to subdue beasts. So he was able to control the beast. So yeah, they eventually it's like Penelope and USAGI make your way to Blacktop Mesa. Who do I go with? Did I go with Commando G? No, your electric abilities burns too much ozone and can interfere with his smell. Can I go with the Otter? He doesn't have a human partner. He works best without one. Also, he doesn't like you.
Good reason.
Yep. Does this mean I go with the bunny? He's so cute. Yes, USAGI is the most experienced Black Ops operative. In a pinch, he's who you can count on to catch the slack. And just look at Penelope. She just feels so...
Is anybody else lagging?
No.
I'm not.
No.
You okay?
The heads are still moving.
All right. But yeah, meanwhile, we see Sawyer with Commando G are going their own route in their own way, and they get ambushed. But thanks to his new eye patch, laser guidance, But yep, they put up a good fight with everything. As it's basically they're making sure he's just as competent in an action, in the action. With the Patriotter still with Rigor Tortoise, and he's dealing with his own action. Oh boy, we see the spiky shell coming out. I circled the mesa, but I don't see anything. Could you hear me? I said yes, I heard you. So dull, the Arizona. So dang cryptic. I'm sorry, I'm just at my comm short out when I transform. Doesn't matter. You gotta clear your moves with me first, especially if you plan on flitting around at the OP. And of course, USAGI's like, chill. Basically, yeah, this is where they're trying to contact. These are dangerous people who will kill us first chance they get. And basically, she's making it very clear this is Black Ops. This isn't like what you're doing. That if either stakes are high enough, we'll kill her if we have to. To which, of course, Carly's horrified by that. But yeah, so meanwhile, we're seeing they're still waiting on Vermilion to do her thing. And, well, what's going on? Well, first they meet up with Misha, who's caught up. And of course, she's like, yeah, it's like, this is Penelope and USAGI. I know, we've met. But yeah, all of a sudden there's a big earthquake going on, and it turns out it's Vermilion creating an earthquake to unleash something from underground. The Thunderbird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, I like this realistic take on Zapdos.
Hold on. Okay, so she said, up there she is. Welcome back.
Oh, okay, so we lost someone.
Yeah, the Thunderbird. But of course, though, then Hair Trigger feel like this is mindless destruction. There's always process to be had in sending a message. And she tries to control it, but she doesn't know how to do it. So yeah, they're heading out there. They're going to put up some action going on while they're trying to talk sense into Vicky. And yeah, like this isn't a game. Homeland Security thinks you're a terrorist. They might even try to kill you. You have to stop this. And they're trying to talk her down out of everything. You don't tell that Vicky actually feels like, oh crap. But then she goes right back to saying, Mom told me I'd be freeing a lost vision that would gather the world. I thought it was going to be a unicorn or something. But she eventually gets away, and that's the last we see of her for this book. We see them trying to shoot it down, trying to do anything to take it down. But nothing's working. And then, oh boy. But yeah, so of course Carly's still putting up a good bit of action. More weapons from Rigor Tortoise.
Just full of surprises.
Yep, and again, she's trying to figure out how to control it, but Hair Trigger feels like, I doubt that. You will. Someday. I don't doubt it you will someday, but only with my guidance. But they get a shot and actually knock him out. And seem to blow a bunch of rocks on top of him. Now, of course, I tell that beast of yours to give me his knife so I can cut him off. No knife! Give me the knife! No knife! If you don't give me it, I'll shoot the hand off, and no one will have it. No knife! But then she realizes, did I just hear you talk? And basically, he then shows her a lot of what happened. And basically, we find out, turns out he and USAGI went a bit nuts at one point. Like, I know you're upset, and I know why you're upset, because he just got shown about what happened with the nukes, and what happened with his family losing them. But he's able to talk him down and basically say, like, hey, I lost my brother during Pearl Harbor. They're able to calm him down and basically, yeah, and that's what made him chill out. And he realized it's the hand. It's not about control. It's about communication. So yeah, once they're able to to do that, they're able to get Hair Trigger up there, and she talks with it. She communicates with it. and is able to convince it to head over to Area 51, the open desert area, and, well, to chill and to just stay over there. No one else will be able to go there. And, well, that's pretty much it for the mission for right now. They feel like we saved the day as we could. And it turns out, though, the creature that was there in the apex moss was actually Mimic in disguise. And also turns out some of those little gremlin things belong to someone named Miss Hopkins. We don't know much about her yet. But yeah, it turns out Apex Moss, he didn't go in the field. He just stayed behind and let Mimic do all the work for him.
Hmm.
So, yep, and then there's, okay. Oh yeah, we have a bit more. We find out with, they meet up with Hair Trigger, and we find out that it turns out whether she had her own natural abilities or from the hand, she can control her hair.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yep. Now, after this would be chronologically, according to the chronological list they have on their website. Next would be Soul Finder, the second volume. It's just more of the same, but this time in an underwater setting. Oh, hold on. In an underwater setting.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and with a little Jonah and the whale type of stuff brought in. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So we don't need to go over all of that. Hamid, so sorry about the audio, but hey, we're getting so it's not that annoying. Oh yeah, we got 2 more to go.
Okay.
This one we resolve all the stuff with Vicky and get her what's been her backstory. As we see years ago when they were little, just reminding us how good friends they were. We then see that the teacher, Mrs. Wormwood, had basically was trying to say that she likes her artwork, but she also has an app for science, and is trying to convince her to, like, women in art is practically a stereotype at this point. And as we know, the teacher would regret these actions, but at this point, she's still in her pro-feminist, type stuff. But she's still being polite about it, and it's basically convincing her like she likes to sculpt. So it's like, well, you can study geology. You can still work in the mud and do all your art stuff. Don't you feel like that sounds like it might be exciting? And then we see as she's waking up, she's getting a message from a whole bunch of messages from Carly, and also then from her where she works at, trying to send her somewhere to South Dakota.
Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No. Wait. Yeah. No. Sorry. There it is. Where it says, then Lacey's calling her a backstabber. But yeah, she wants to be sent over on this, off to a conference. And then, but Carly, it's Carly. I'm begging you, just talk to me. This isn't you, who you are. You're my best friend, and that sets her off. And soon they're going to deal with this other guy named Terror Trafficker Bandit Okami, who has his own creatures.
Ooh.
And basically, these are the chupacabras from that other book.
Oh.
Yep. Kremlin Inferno. And Sylvia, she's joined up with them now. Come and gore. And when they're told, like, we strike a pose, she's so embarrassed. Hey, you'll do better. And of course, she's trying to call Vicky again, and we got a flashback 1 year ago when she was still in Indiana. Remember, that's where one of the meteorites landed? While she was working on it, it came down, but then for a brief moment, time froze as someone speak to her, telling her that in 20 seconds, that object will deliver you power beyond your wildest imagination. And basically, he's offering her more power, and she accepts. And she wakes up with all that. We then see Lansky is completely like everything's going to hell for their company. We have to find out that Testosterone and Meredith Maiden they quit or they were dropped after everything that happened in their appearance in Walmart. But yeah, and turns out that's Schultz. That's his partner. But there's more to him than we know. We then flash back again when Lansky was there trying to get her attention, Carly's attention. He's coming up saying she's been in a coma. When she wakes up, tell her she's fired. Of course, trying to make sure that Carly didn't get fired. She reveals her power, saying, "Do I have your attention?" Oh, but turns out those Schultz, yeah, he's the one who wrote all the scripts and everything, but turns out he's a hero, a villain. I've always hated you, Lansky. Be careful. And, grateful, I still have some use for you.
Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Evil Power Ranger.
Yeah, they make their way to where Vicky is, who is right there with Badger. I'm glad of all the little chores you had me do for when you were out gallivanting, taking care of Badger was the one that never bothered me. I never stopped practicing, art, I mean. And she basically also revealed that him being exposed to the Chimeratons from the lightning bolt has now made him basically like USA GI. But it's like, you're my friend, Carly's best friend, Carly's friend, Carly's friend, Carly's friend. I'm not just Carly's friend. And basically, Chioda says, like, I've done so much more than you give me credit for. And I did it all while, and once again, sacrificing my aspirations. And it turns out, she's the one who came up with the creature. She wanted Vermilion Masquerade to be a hero. But then when they heard about Carly waking up, she has lightning powers. And if her abilities are what she claimed, she can basically saying she could be the hero and you can be the villain.
Wow.
Oh man.
Doing this all for Carly, doing Carly a big favor. You are her friend after all. So yeah, you can see what built up the resentment.
Yeah.
Doesn't excuse her actions, of course.
Well, of course.
And yeah, leads to a bit of fight and more fights with these creatures. Kimiko tries to use her abilities. Kimmy, you need a water sword to pull up and attack that big. Carly's plumbing's main is in the front yard. Whoops. And come on. I'll be right there. Oh boy. But saved by Siggy, kisses him. I'll finish thanking you later. Oh boy. She has one look at Badger and then she takes off. But then, Carly Senpai, I found this, and the way you were holding it, I thought it might be important. Alright, everyone, here's what we're going to do. We can't beat Vicky to the airport. She travels fast through the ground in a straight line. She's probably caught her flight already. We don't even know where she's going. How are we going to catch up? We figure it out. I'm calling in a favor and a chopper. Alright. And when this is over, Misha, we're going to talk to you about stealing my boyfriend. Boyfriend? I'll stay here and look over after Badger. See what I mean? But yeah, it turns out, and yeah, Sawyer's helping them out get over there. And, Puppy! But it turns out she realized all these attacks happen in places where Vicky was sent for her conferences. And the next one is South Dakota, right by Mount Rushmore. Let's see. I'll use Washington to show off my serious side, Jefferson to show off my intellectual side, Roosevelt to show off my wild side, and Lincoln to show off my compassionate side. She plans on remaking all of Mount Rushmore.
That's hilarious.
But the others show up, and it turns out Those outfits they're wearing, those were designs that Vicky had given them. The fall line they were working on was actually these outfits.
Oh man.
And they got short, skirts now.
Don't know how I feel about that.
But she still feels like it's too late for that. You will call me Vermilion Masquerade. No, I won't. And this just leads into a big fight. Again, I just love the characterizations and all this. I know, and basically, yeah, it's just like, do you at long last, realize my potential? Vicky, stop your whining! Of all the grandiose nonsense I've heard coming out of your mouth, how lacking self-awareness are you? You think you're a victim? Are you really one of those people who spend their whole life fostering grievances? You're better than that. You're tougher than that. Now this gets a little preachy. We're the descendants, sons and daughters of pioneers, innovators, and soldiers. Hard workers with dreams. We aren't victims. We forge our own destiny through blood, sweat, and tears. You want to be a villain? Is that your goal? Fine. You're the one who has to wallow in your own petty pity party. But I chose to be a hero. And as your friend, I'm going to knock some sense into you. See what I mean? A little preachy, wouldn't you say? A little?
Yeah.
I mean, not bad though, but just a little where you're like, but it doesn't take you too much out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they do a geyser gauntlet, and then using her power does the baseball lightning, and then decks her. You were right about one thing, Vicky. You're not just my friend. You're practically a sister to me. I wish that instead of holding it all in, you'd have just talked to me. For what it's worth, I'm sorry that I didn't see it sooner. So she's turned herself in, and she's going to be on the route to redemption, though. Even it says, the Commando G is an excellent judge of character. Aww. So, and we have a nice moment with, I know a lot about having a sister and being one. Sisters fight. It can be petty, jealous, and brutal. But in the end, you're still kin. And those ties that bind are so tight that you'll do anything to find a reason to forgive each other. When you remember her, don't remember how you fought. Remember how you played, how you laughed, and how you made memories together. Pray for her and don't give up hope that you'll have those days again. So yeah, they make their way there. At that spare house sale and everything where they stayed at, that they worked on together, destroyed. And she just remembers the good times. And but then, oh, look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we then get a little tie-in with Soul Finder as they talking with Vicky, who is completely, she just feels conflicted. But then there's Schultz showing up, and it turns out he's the one who made the deal with her. That gave her all that power, and then she takes it all back. He takes it all back. Like what kind? The kind that eats other monsters. And last one so far. As we see a bit of flashback, again with Carly, and we're finally get to see her mother. As she's the one who wanted to do this, being part of a float, and now she feels like, do I have to? But yeah, basically, I just like how her parents taught her very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see that now everyone's adoring them. And but then she gets a text and everything, so Sylvia takes charge and all. And as everyone's always everyone is just so celebrating. I love how this looks just like a convention, booth.
Yeah.
As we then introduce to Ice Costron and Merrimont Maiden, who meet up with them, and they say how they basically they claim rights to their costumes. So, could Carly make some new costumes, please? Yeah. Yeah, basically they're asking for some costumes. But unfortunately, Carly's been really busy lately. Basically, their popularity has gone up. But of course, then she's got called in to help out with a Black Ops mission, dealing with that guy again, the bandit.
Oh.
And she's working with Sawyer and Commando G again. There's Needle Strike. Cryptic level's really gone down since they lost Hair Trigger. And thanks to Commando G, those guys are taken down and they deal with the Chupacabras. I just love how each one, if you notice, it always opens with action and then ends with action with the character stuff in between.
Right.
Yep, takes down the one guy and more of I love it. Have you noticed? Confidential. He's using it to sneak off. But yeah, they're having stuff going on in Paris. Dealing with some more monsters there. They're introduced to the Super Psychic Phenomenon Fighters, Zen and Rangers. Yes, it's meant to be Super Sentai XPs.
Let's go.
Oh, they're not even hiding it.
We are an international gathering of heroes devoted to defending countries from all threats. And their ambassador, Lansky.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
All about them, that dough.
Yep.
He's like a Reagan from Mob Psycho 100.
Badger, look at him. My bows aren't that bad, but yeah, basically they all feel like and basically Kimiko, she's basically going to be offering I don't help much with the production or design though. I wish I could do something more substantial. You can, our party is all tanks, but no healer. You play JRPGs, Miss Sylvia? No. But yeah, basically they're going to be heading over to Japan later on. We see the stuff with Siggy and Carly, and they're like, about time. You're 10 minutes late, Siggy. Little overdressed for the setup, aren't you? I'll go start the car. So are you guys dating now? Only if you count as grabbing fast food after getting off work. I've been meaning to talk to you about this, but you've been putting it off. You've known Siggy since elementary school, right? If you're still putting off telling him how you feel, that's on you. It's been 5 months since our battle with Vicky, and despite the gains you've made since then, you still haven't gained your composure. In my former line of work, tomorrow was never a promise. You learn the value every day, and you don't waste time with indecision.
Exactly, bro.
Fortune favors the bold, Carly. Don't hesitate too long, or this'll be a fight you'll lose. So, yeah, in other words, neither one of them is full on dating Siggy yet, but one of them's going to make the first move. So, yeah, they're showing up some more of Carly's designs with Sylvia as the model.
I don't know how I feel about the blank white just right there.
True, but next thing you know, those robots are attacking. But right as she dresses, Sylvia, I said, let's get changed. I can't transform like the rest of you. I left the victory armor back at the hotel. It's 2 blocks from here. So she's running off, and again, we get this, as the fight's going on here, we're getting the mini story in the bottom. Come on.
You always bring it with you.
Yep, and then you're paying for our room window that I had to crash through to get here. And we're introduced to Dr. Daisuke Aragagi, founder and president and head of H&R for Kamatsude Engineering. And they're trying to figure out what's going on with those things. Hold on. Yeah, do something. This is all your fault. What the heck? Yeah, so all of a sudden people seem to be turning on them. But yeah, they make it back there, and hey, you guys beat me home. Saw the Vegas attack on TV. You've got to get back to your self-defense training, Carly. But yeah, she's exhausted. They're all exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
Well, except for Kimiko, she's obviously energetic.
I mean, she didn't do anything.
Yep. Oh, if you notice, her outfit's designed, not her outfit, the building's designed to look like a cup of ramen.
Well, it's her company, right? It has the company name.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Turns out then Marymount made a nice toss throw in order to keep an eye on Badger while they're gone. And yeah, basically they get a bit of a tour of the place. But then it turns out they want to. She had no idea that Kaneko-chan was so big. And when you described it as a family business, I thought you meant like a small business, like Siggy's gun shop or Sylvia's bait shop. But basically, she's like, it's a huge company. After everything she had to deal with Slansky, she doesn't want a huge company. We're building everything the right way, grassroots. So she's being a bit condescending. I mean, I get why, but at the same time, like, Carly, back when you used to call my family business a bait shop, I always thought you were teasing me. But I now realize that you never actually visited a prestige rookery and hookery, have you? Well, no. Fishy's not really my thing. We're a major sporting goods chain with over 100 locations in the U.S. and Canada alone. We haven't been a bait shop since my great-grandfather started the business a century ago. How do you think we got so rich? Corporations aren't sentient. They're run by people. My mom, for one, has run our company magnanimously. Not all corporations are bad, no matter how big they are. They're almost always had small beginnings. Vision by Vanders is now a small label now, but you are trying to grow it, right? Who knows? Maybe someday you'll have an obnoxious glowing pyramid. Actually, we have 4 pyramids. Oh, you know what they're referencing, right? The Bass shop in that's at the pyramid.
Oh.
The food group pyramid.
No, the actual big steel pyramid that's in I think Mississippi or somewhere.
Nope. I don't know anything about the other world.
You lost me.
I was bored in world history.
Yep, but yeah, they some attacks happen, dealing with those robots, and one of those Sentai ripoffs are there, and turned out they're the bad guys.
Oh.
Yep, putting up a fight. He was saying like, "You aren't just brainless, you're worthless." But then the others show up to help. Even Misha, who stole my boyfriend, and boyfriend, this isn't the same as the runway, you know.
Oh, I realized the color palette changed.
A little. But yeah, they continue putting up putting up a fight against them. Siggy shows up. My man, your man. So yeah, and in the middle, they're just dealing with one of them. But then, with some help, they're able to turn the tides on everything. But then the media shows up, and she then tries to turn around, saying like, "Oh, they helped out. You're a liar. That's a lie. She's lying. Bad guys do that, Kimmy. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. The truth will come out eventually." But yeah, basically they basically have found out more about them, and when they make their way back, Carly eventually decides to actually take up on the sponsorship with Kaneko-chan. So she's come around again. Gross as a character. Everyone's cheering and happy and all that, but they're still trying to figure out who are those guys.
Kampai!
Yep, and it turns out Sylvia's mother's working with them.
No.
Uh-oh.
I love her hair.
And then we get a tease for the next book at the very end, as we see Sylvia's just meeting up with the priest. and basically is trying to just get everything in order. She's overworking herself. Plus, she's going to go do some working on the outfits to do costumes for her friends. And then we find out then it turns out he's actually working with the Soul Finders as they're ready on another mission soon.
Oh.
Yep. So yeah, that was it, and that was Common America. What did you all think?
Interesting.
I knew it was a pretty good, pretty fun series the moment I laid my eyeballs on it.
Yep. And with all the fan service, though, the fan service is just there. You don't really pay attention to it unless you're looking at it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say was your favorite of the books so far?
I don't know.
Like the number of volume?
If you want to, okay. Which one has been better, Black Ops or Common America?
Oh.
Oh, I liked Common America better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like Black Ops too, though.
Yeah.
I do like Black Ops.
Badass bunny going around and kicking ass.
Yeah, but okay. How about this one? Now, who's your favorite of the Common Core? So Carly, Misha, Kimiko, and Sylvia.
Misha!
Well, yeah, we already know you like Misha.
I love Misha.
I kind of like Kimiko.
Yeah, I like Kimiko too. She's cute.
She is cute, energetic, but not painfully naive.
Yeah, I like Carly.
Oh yeah, and
Carly.
I also love how she's had development throughout the whole book. She's not the same girl she was at the beginning.
Yeah, I think that's what I like about her the most.
And I do feel bad for Vicky. I mean, she's made bad choices, obviously, but at the same time, you understand how she got there, and that's what I like best about it. That's what I like best. You don't realize she's not completely evil,
Yeah,
but she's made again wrong choices.
of course.
So yeah, that was. And what actually, I want to say the artwork. What have you said about Tim Lim's artwork and how it's evolved since the first Black Ops?
Yeah, it feels like it's gotten like better over time.
Yeah, I mean
Anime-ish, but also like American.
Yeah,
type
I like the anime-ish art style.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the 25th lesson of Pro Teachers Noobs. Glad you guys were all here. That you guys enjoyed it. And does this make you guys want to buy them? Because you can get them. They're on iconiccomics.com.
Yeah,
I mean, I've already been getting them.
Well, yeah, but what about you two?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Yep. All right then, and yeah, I'll put a link in the description on where you guys can get it. There's a campaign currently going on for the Black Ops Common America Soul Finder crossover, and we'll see where they keep going with here. Because then after that, there's going to be Volume 6 and then 7, and they're going to keep going for the long haul with this.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So yeah, and thank you all for joining. Thank you three for joining me, and well, I can tell you this already. Next lesson, it's going to be me and Nerdette talking about some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Whoa.
Yep, The Last Ronin.
Nice.
So we'll see you
Another
all.
thing I've been meaning to read.
Me too. I'm gonna get the trade paperback.
Yep, so we'll see you all on the next one. Take care.
Yeah,
Later.
bye.